What is up, guys? Meg Gabrick in the video, and today is another episode of Diorama Dissection. If you haven't watched this series before, I basically just do a review on a set or figures or anything like that based on how good they are for dioramas. And this one is honestly one of my most anticipated sets of the year. Ever since they had the Halo Mega Fest or Mega Day or whatever it was called, I was just super hyped for this set. There's so much in it that I wanted to get my hands on. So yeah, I'm excited for it. There's a box. I'm actually going to get this out of the way because it kind of makes it look weird in the background. But here we go. And what it comes with is a barrier. Let's start with the least important thing. This little set right here, this little box with some really cool stuff inside of it. And then the turret, two hunters, which is an incredible have for dioramas. I'm going to talk about that more, but that's one of the best parts about it, in my opinion. A really nicely colored Marine, a really nicely colored Elite, and a pretty cool Spartan as well. Also, the main part, the tank. So yeah, let's start breaking them down. So this is one of the most exciting parts, but I figured I'd cover it first because it is something that we've already had before, and that's the Banished Hunters. These are, pardon me, really cool. I mean, that armor color is so nice. The only part that I didn't like is they actually came built, which is really good because if you've had to put these little fuel rod things on them before, it's a pain. It destroys your fingers. It's terrible. So it was cool not getting them in, but now all of the little spine pieces are kind of messed up. So that kind of doesn't really look as good, but I'm sure that you could fix it if you just kind of position them the way you want a few times. But just having two hunters for dioramas is incredible. If you play the games, you know that they always come in pairs, or if you read the lore or anything like that. So this is a really awesome get for dioramas, and just to get them both in one set is incredible because I don't think that's ever happened. Well, no, there's some older sets, but it's never been the two Banished Hunters. So collectors and diorama makers are super happy about that. Mega Gabby's girlfriend is actually here. What do you think of the Hunters?
Well, I like how they're pre-built, so like they're less breakable, you know?
Yeah.
Because like if you're setting them up, sometimes the arms break off or whatever. But I like building them, so that kind of is sad.
Okay. Well, we can get you something to build at some point. All right, and next we have Spartan Griffin, I believe. I think this is Griffin, not Stone. Uh, it's one of the two. Sorry about that. But one of the most unique armor sets that I've ever seen. I mean, just look at that really cool, like, blocky armor. It looks so good. And then the alternating leg armors right there. It's a great figure. I didn't expect it like this much. I didn't know it had this many details when I just saw, like, the pictures and stuff. It's a beautiful set, or a beautiful figure, though. So I was really happy to get that and really pleasantly surprised with how good it looks. I will say, as I always do, and I say this so much in videos, if you get like a named character like this is, it kind of makes them hard to be in dioramas because then you only want them to be in dioramas that you have the character in. Unfortunately, this character did not make it through Halo Infinite. They are not in the game other than their armor. So having them in lore series or lore dioramas will kind of be difficult. But yeah, still a good looking figure. I gotta admit that. All right, next we have the Marine, and this is one of the best looking Halo Infinite Marines. The only one that I like more is the like Spec Ops White Marine that came in the Marine Customizer pack, but this thing is really nice. This brown looking armor is cool, and I actually think that a similar color to this at least, is going to be in the new Blind Bag series, so I'm pretty excited about that. Except for this one comes with shoulder pauldrons, which I really like. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty standard Marine, great army builder, so if you buy multiples of the set, even though it is an expensive set, you'll at least be building a pretty nice set of, army build figures. Now we're on to the figure that I was the most excited for, and I will say rightfully so. I wish it was a little shinier, but it still looks absolutely amazing. It's this gorgeous gold elite warlord. I think we've only had it in one other set, and it was just like a normal kind of yellowish color. Still looks good, don't get me wrong, but this is beautiful. This, you can definitely see it being a leader of a banished group of fighters, or leading brutes or elites into battle. So I think I may use this as a villain in one of my videos long term. But yeah, it's just a beautiful figure. That Warlord helmet is so nice, and I hope they keep using it. Like, I'm surprised they've only used it one time, and yet there's so many other figure types that they've used, just tons of different times. But yeah, beautiful figure. It's still a good army builder, even though it's unique. So I'm really, really happy with that one. Probably my favorite figure of the bunch. Really quickly, I just want to talk about the turret. I don't know how I feel about these. I wish they were a little smaller so they could be carried. But, I mean, it's pretty nice. Little banished turret. I mean, it fires, but that doesn't really... It doesn't add much to dioramas, I'll say that. And here is one of the most underrated, if not the most underrated piece of the set. Well, no, actually that's going to come to the next thing. Just these little barriers. I mean, these are so nice. If you're making banished dioramas, these are so easy to have. You can always use more of them, I feel like. So I'm always happy to get more of them. And, you know, Mega didn't have to include this, so I'm really happy they did. Looks really good. Doesn't look as good from this other side, but if you have it facing outwards in your dioramas, it's going to look great. All right, now here is something that actually surprised me. It's just a crate, but inside the crate, they have a bunch of tools. They have like this little wedge thing, crowbars. I mean, I'm not an expert in tools. I play with Mega Construx, so that's not really my forte, obviously. But yeah, screwdriver. But what this is really good for, if you make civilian dioramas or something like that, you can have civilians using these tools, working on warthogs, working on pelicans, other things like that. So I think that's really awesome. And now we're going to be moving on to the best part of the set. And now we are on to my favorite, and I think everyone's favorite part of this set. This tank is amazing. I love it so much. It's one of the most fulfilling builds because you just get to like keep connecting things that you build together until it comes into this. This doesn't help with dioramas at all, but as far as cool points go, this is amazing. Look at this. It's like you spin this little notch forward and then it's like it's firing off. I love that so much. I know it's goofy. I know it doesn't suit the actual like what I do in my videos, but it's still really, really cool, and I'm a big fan of it. Also, there's these little compartments right here. Well, it doesn't really hold anything there. That's just kind of a look. But then there's these nice little tread bits. You could maybe, if you have it broken down tank, you have it broken. And I think, I'm not sure, you can use this. Now, this is actually super vital for dioramas, because if you've ever used a tank in a diorama, it's hard to get figures to sit on it, right? They just fall off, things like that. But then they can hold this, and they can actually stay on. So I'm super happy about that. Let's move it forward right here. This is it head on, and it still looks good. If you couldn't tell, pretty much every angle of this tank looks amazing. So, I mean, I'm super happy with that. It has these little lights right here. I'm a big fan of that. And also just like the turret. I mean, having the turret that can turn... Oh, did not mean to do that. There we go. Okay, guys, I'm having a little trouble. There we go. You can turn it different ways. You can turn it forward, backward. It doesn't really turn back into the tank, obviously. This is going really well. But yeah, you guys can see if you are more careful and you're using more than one hand, you'll be able to do it just fine. There's also this little seat that comes up right here, and there's a little seat inside the tank, and you can have someone sit inside just if you want to have someone escaping or maybe someone hijacking it. So I think that's a really, really nice detail that they didn't really have to add. And then here's the other side. Just, you know, it's pretty much the same, except for it doesn't have the notch on it. I like this little scorpion logo a lot. I think that it's just a nice little detail that they didn't really have to add. So I'm a big fan of that. And then here's something that's not really practical for dioramas. Again, it does look good from the back, but not as good because there's this open space. Although I'm sure that you can actually find a way to fix that. Let me see if that... Well, no, because then it'll open up. But, you know, maybe if you're creative and a little more... you know, crafty than I am, you'll be able to do it. So then you can actually open up inside here. Maybe you want to have something hiding in there, but I would probably just use it for storage. And yeah, that's it. Now I'm going to get it all together. All right, guys, and that's the end of the video. I'm going to go ahead and give it the rating. I mean, this set is absolutely amazing for dioramas. I'm going to be buying another one, and that way I can build the alternate build and then get more hunters. Also, I want another one of these. The only part that I'll be like, oh, I don't really want another one is this Spartan Stone or Spartan Griffin, not whichever one it is. But I mean, the tank is just amazing. It's an amazing set. It has so many really cool practical builds. I like the little toolbox. I think that's such a unique add. And then also getting another barrier is always nice. So yeah, I love this set so much. I'm really, really excited to put it in some dioramas. I'm actually working on some dioramas right now that I want to have it in. So yeah, Diorama I'm gonna give it a 9.4. And I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. The standard right now is like the Falcon, and so that's my favorite set of all time, probably as far as pricing and all that goes. So yeah, I think this is an amazing set, and I'm excited to use it more. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.